Kendall here with Lassie Llama Creations. Today we're going to be making a super cute cereal bowl. This is a beginner friendly pattern. I'm going to be walking you through everything, but per usual, Peanut's here. And I start my video with video clips from the bead tutorial because that's how I really liked how I explained it. I explained the magic ring and everything. So you're going to see me working in yellow yarn. But when you start it, you're actually going to be starting with the white for the milk for this project. For supplies, you're going to need medium weight for yarn in a light blue. I have this kind of purplish blue, white, yellow, pink, and a small amount of black for the smile, 10mm safety eyes, stuffing, stitch markers, tapestry needle, scissors, and a 5mm crochet hook. Again, you're starting with white from the milk. Let's jump right in. All right, so we're gonna start with our yellow yarn, and we're gonna start by making a magic ring or a magic circle. It's the same thing. I'm going to take my crochet hook. I have my yarn. This is our tail, our dead end, the end of your yarn. This is the yarn that's attached to the ball or the skein. You're going to take it and wrap it around your hand to form an X. You're going to hold it in the middle. Hook goes under, then over, and we're going to scoop this underneath. Just like that. We're going to twist it up and pull it off our hands. And then do this thing called a chain, which is when we pull our yarn through our loop. So I'm going to put the yarn on the crochet hook and pull through. And that's our magic ring. But let me show you again. I have my tail, wrap around to make an X, hold in the middle, under, over, pull through, twist up, and then do our chain. We're then going to make 6 single crochets in this loop. Our single crochets are one of the smallest, most basic stitches of crochet. You'll find it in tons of the stuffed animal or amigurumi patterns. Crocheters love single crochets. To do one, you're going to insert your hook in the middle of the loop, yarn over, which is when we place the yarn on top of the hook, pull through. So we have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, and then pull through both loops. And that's 1 single crochet. So again, I'm going to go through the middle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops, and that's a second. Through the middle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. That was stitch 3. So I'm going to do 4, 5, and 6. Each stitch is this little V, little oval. Can't see it too well on the sides. If I pull it apart a little bit, you can see that's a stitch. I'm going to take my tail and pull it so that it actually forms this cute little ring. And now we have the start of our crochet piece. These are our stitch markers, which are like little clothespin, safety pin looking things. Safety pins, not clothespins. Looking things. We're going to attach it into the last stitch that we made, that V. Close it up. This is going to help us find the beginning and the end when we're working in our rounds. Because we're going to be working in a spiral, so we're just going to keep on going around and around and around. So this will make sure we know the beginning and the end of each round. Our magic ring with the 6 single crochets, that was 1 round. So now we're going on to round 2, which according to our pattern says increase 6 times. An increase is just 2 single crochets next to each other. So we have 6 stitches. At the end of round 2, we should have 12. So we're going to put 2 stitches in each of the 6, so that we have 12. So we're just doubling it. I'm going to insert my hook into the first stitch that we made. The first one's always a little tight. It's not you, it's the crochet piece. Just kind of wiggle, stick it in. I'm gonna yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through again. So I have 1 single crochet. Before we move on, I'm gonna stick my crochet hook in the same stitch and do another single crochet. So now we have 2 in 1 stitch. I like to picture it like a little flower, so we have like a small beginning, but then we want even petals on the side, so it kind of gets bigger evenly. I'm going to move to the next stitch. Again, I'm working in a spiral, so I'm literally just scooting over and do another increase. So that's 1 single crochet, and then in the same hole, doing a second. And then I'll do that again. And again. Moving over. I'm in my last one, and this is my cat Cashew. He likes to help with videos sometimes. I'm sure his sister Peanut's gonna help too. I'm gonna take out my stitch marker. I'm gonna do our increase. And then I'm gonna put the stitch marker back in to the new end of the round. So we're kind of moving it up each time. And now we have this small little circle, which is round 1 and round 2. You should have 12 single crochets at the end of this round. And you can count them by looking at those V's. Grab my tapestry needle. So like that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do this all the way around, so you have 12. The next round, round 3, it says we're going to do a single crochet and then an increase. And there's a comma in that bracket, which is important. So in the next stitch, we're going to do 1 single crochet. And then we're done with that. In the next stitch, that comma means we're moving over. We're going to be doing an increase, which is again those 2 single crochets. So this repetition for the round is a little series of 3. 1 and then an increase. Or in my head, sometimes I'll say double. So 1 and then a double. And we're going to repeat this. So the next stitch, we're going to do 1. And then the next stitch, a double or an increase. And we're going to do this for the whole round. So 1 and then a double. 1, then a double. And I know I'm crocheting fast. Hey, I've done it since I was 14 years old. Don't forget, 1, pause this video. I will still be here for you. As well as that in the corner, the little gears button, you can change the speed. So yeah, I'll sound a little funny, but you can watch me slow down these stitches and it might be a little easier. You can see at the end, I removed my stitch marker, did my last increase, and then I'm going to put it back. And our circle's getting a little rounder, a little bigger. You can tell it kind of curls up a little bit. That's okay. That's normal. No biggie. If it's curling up a lot, you might have messed up the pattern a little bit. You might have put too many increases. So you might want to take it out and kind of make sure you're counting. At the end of this row, you should have 18. Another thing to remember, this is our tail from that very beginning magic ring. This is the inside. So if you're looking at it and you're like, mine's kind of ugly, my stitches aren't clean, this tail's in the way, what am I doing? Boop, just turn it around. If you followed my tutorial for my crochet plants, a lot of people will show me their crocheted pot and they'll be like, hey, mine's ugly and it doesn't sit weird and it sits super weird and it's off. And then I'm like, flip it inside out. Boom. They did amazing work and they did it right. You just gotta flip it around. Next round, you're gonna start seeing a pattern here. It says 2 single crochets and then an increase. So single crochet 2 is different than an increase. So we're gonna do 1, 1, and then an increase. In newer crochet patterns, as in the past 10 years, you'll notice the word increase. Sometimes people use 2 single crochets instead. I find that confusing. If you follow any Lousy Llama crochet patterns, I will always say increase versus single crochet 2. If I'm saying single crochet 2, I mean 1 and then 1 and then an increase. Well, let's not get confusing here. So we're going to do 1, 1, and then an increase. One, 1, and then an increase. And we'll do this for the whole round. One, 1, increase. One, 1, increase. 1, 1, take out the marker, increase. And then put it back in. And now we have a bigger circle. Again, you can see mine curving a little bit. That's okay. The next round, we're going to be 3 single crochets and then an increase. So we're going to do 1, 1, 1. So 1, 1, 1, and then an increase. And we're going to do this for the whole round. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3, increase. And if you're wondering, yes, this is what I'm thinking in my head when I crochet pieces like this. So while I'm talking right here, back in my mind, I'm like 1, 2, 3, increase. And that's kind of how I'm keeping track. You don't have to count that big total number of stitches unless you want at the end of each round, but you don't have to keep that in your mind. There's my increase. So yeah, crochet is a lot of counting, but it's usually nothing too high, at least for my crochet patterns. Boom. If you're wondering what I'm doing when I pull it off screen, I'm just pulling more yarn out of my skein, or my ball, or my cake, or whatever you want to call it. Next round, you might have guessed it, it's going to be 4 and then an increase. One more round for our increases, it's going to be 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that we finished single crochet 5, 1 increase, we're going to do one more round and we're going to do 6 single crochets and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then our increase. And you're going to do that for the whole round. This is the end of that round of 6 single crochets, 1 increase. To make this a little rounder, we're going to do 2 slip stitches. And to do a slip stitch, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. And I'll repeat that a second time. So insert, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. So now our edges are a little rounder. We're going to cut a nice long tail. I'm just going to cut my yarn and then fasten off, which is when we pull this all the way through. So now our piece doesn't come undone, and that's how we're going to do the top of the milk. For the actual cereal pieces, we're going to be doing it in pink, yellow, and blue. For this video, I'm only going to show it in pink because it's the exact same thing for all the colors. You're going to want to make about 5 per color. On my finished product I took pictures of, there was 5 pink, 4 yellow, and 4 blue. But that was just kind of the way I was setting it on top and kind of how I was randomizing the colors. I didn't want to add the extra yellow and blue because then, I don't know, it looked unbalanced. But you do how many other cereal pieces you want. I did about 5 per color. This is going to be just like that magic ring that you did when you started the milk. Like exactly the same. We're going to wrap it around your hand. Yarn under, pull through, and chain 1. Now last time we did 6 single crochets on this, but for the cereal we're actually going to do 8. So you're going to insert your hook, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pull it closed. I'm going to put a slip stitch in that very first single crochet we made. So we're going to insert, yarn over, pull through again. So now we have this little circle. I want to cut a tail. Doesn't have to be crazy long, but we're going to use it, so long enough you can put a tapestry needle on it. Fasten off by pulling through. And you're going to want to make a bunch of these little cereal pieces. When you're finished making them all, you're going to sew it to the top of the milk with your tapestry needle. You're going to put it on your needle. Place it wherever you would like. And you're just going to go in and then out. I only place a stitch here and a stitch on the bottom just because I like my pieces having a little movement. I stacked my other colors so it kind of looks more natural. If I just go through it a few times, I'm going to repeat the same thing with the other tail that we have. Make sure my tail isn't being shown, so I went down first. And then I'll go back up. And just kind of pinching the 2 corners, so stitch, stitch on the back. You can tie this in a knot. Just be sure you don't pull too tight because you don't want to bend your piece. And then trim. You'll repeat this with all of your cereal pieces and all of your colors. See if you only stitch part of it, you can put the next piece underneath it, and so forth, so that your little cereal bowl is nice and full. So now that we have the milk and the cereal, we need a bowl to put it in, or our cereal is not going to get us very far. It's going to start the exact same way you started that milk, with that magic ring, that chain 1, 6 single crochets. So my magic ring, my chain 1, 6 single crochets. For the serial you did 8, we are back to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pulling it closed. And for a few rounds, it's going to be literally the exact same as the milk. For the next round, we're going to do 6 increases. And remember, those increases are just 2 single crochet in 1. Sorry, you can hear my cat scratching at the door. It was either that or they sit in front of the camera. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Put my marker in. Do our next round, which is 1 single crochet, 1 increase. This should sound very familiar because it is what you did in the beginning. So 1 single crochet, 1 increase, 1 increase, 1 increase, 1 increase, 1 increase, 1, take out my marker, do my increase, putting it back in. The next round is going to be 2 single crochets, 1 increase. So 1, 2, and then an increase. 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase. Do it one more time. 1, 2, take this out, do our increase. Put our marker back in. Our next round, if you might have guessed it, 3 single crochets, then 1 increase. After this round, it's going to get a little different, but for now, single crochet 3, and then your increase. 1, 2, 3, 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 taking out my marker, and an increase. Gonna put the marker back in, and we're gonna do something a little different this round. Different, but not so different. So normally when we crochet through both of these loops. This is the front loop, that's the back loop. We usually go through both. For the next round, you're gonna do 4 single crochets, 1 increase, but you're only gonna do it in this back loop. You're still gonna insert front to back. You're not gonna do something weird or twisty, nope. Just like you've been doing. You've been doing this, or only be going through the back. 4 single crochets, 1 increase. So I'm just gonna insert my hook into the back. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then increase. It's all in the back loop. And see, the kind of front loop is kind of sitting in the front now. I'm only working in the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, increase in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, and then one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taking out our marker, doing that last increase. Cool. The next 2 rounds, it's going to be 5 single crochet, 1 increase, and then 6 single crochet, 1 increase. But you're going to go back to putting it through both of the loops. So not the front loop, not the back loop, both. So make sure you're going under both. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then an increase. Back through both loops. So I'm going to finish this round, which is 5 single crochet, 1 increase, and then the next round is 6 single crochets, 1 increase. Go ahead and pause the video and finish the next 2 rounds, and then we'll meet back up to do the next part. Okay, I just finished 6 single crochets, 1 increase. You can start to see it's kind of looking like a ball. The back loop only technique kind of pushes our piece out, so it's a nice flat bottom as we continue to work up. One of my favorite techniques. For the next 7 rounds, you're going to place 1 single crochet in every stitch. No increases, decreases, or anything like that. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now, you can put your stitch marker up top and then just keep track of your rounds. Something I like to do, so I like to put it on the side of the stitch. And I'm going to keep on working around and around and around, and then I don't have to move this because I'll just look and see if it's lined up. So again, no increases or anything like that. Just doing 1 single crochet in every single stitch for a total of 7 rounds. So you can go all the way around 7 times. For my video sample, I'm going to make this a little smaller just so I can get this video done and edited. But you are going to do it for a total of 7 rounds, and then I'll show you the next part. But I'm going to do a few rounds of placing 1 single crochet in every stitch without having to move up my stitch marker. You're going to do it for 7 rounds. Here's what I'm talking about of not moving the stitch marker. I'm almost done with my first round, and I'm just going to keep on moving through the stitches. And I don't need to move it, and now I can see this was the start, so this is my first round. Do that for 7 rounds. For my sample, I'm just doing 3 rounds, but you should have done 7, so it will be a good amount taller. For the next round, we're going to single crochet 1 in every stitch, but in white. So first we got to switch from blue to white. To do that, it's going to be just like doing a single crochet, but at the end when we yarn over, we'll yarn over in white. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Take this white, give yourself some wiggle room, couple inches of yarn, hook it onto your hook. I like to hold the white and then pull through. I'm going to tighten the blue in the back and single crochet with the white. Make sure you're not using the tail, but you're using the one attached to the skein. I'm just going to do a couple to lock it in. But that is how you switch colors. For this specific part, you don't have to cut off the blue. we're actually going to use it after this one row of white, because we're doing one row of single crochets in white. We're going to come all the way back to the end, and we're going to switch back to blue. So let me go all the way around with my white, and then we'll switch back to blue. Almost done with the round. I have one more stitch, so this is where I'm going to change my color. You could do it in this one or the next one. I generally do it in the last one. Yarn over, pull through. I want to pick up the blue from the back and yarn over, pull through. Tightening the white a little bit in the back. We're going to be doing 2 more rounds of single crochet in blue. Doing a few to lock it in. So you could either do one more or leave it like that. I'm going to cut the white. And I'm going to tie a knot in the back just to make sure nothing gets messy. Cool. So we're going to do 2 more rounds of single crochet in blue. Just 1 single crochet in every stitch like we've been doing. You're going to do that for 2 rounds. That was 2 rounds of single crochet. We have 1 more row that we need to do. I'm going to take my stitch marker and move it back up to the last stitch I made. And for our very last round, we're going to do half double crochets in every stitch. A half double crochet is a little bit taller than a single crochet. To make a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through 1 loop so that you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3. That's a half double crochet. So again, yarn over and insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. You're going to do this for the whole round, and then I will show you how to finish it off. But go ahead and take your time, doing 1 half double crochet in every single stitch for this round. My last stitch, taking out my marker, doing 1 more half double crochet, and boom. We are going to do 2 more slip stitches just like we did for the milk. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through again, and then once more. Oh, I'm a little stuck. There we go. Happens. We're going to leave a nice long tail because we're going to use this for sewing. Cut. And pull through. You're going to put this nice long tail on your tapestry needle. You're going to fold this over, and we're going to sew our half double crochets folded over right above the white line, so you kind of get this nice pretty white ridge on your cereal bowl. And I am just going to literally go in and out, front to back. I'm doing it in the top of the half double crochets that I pushed down, so they're folded over. And I'm doing it right above the white, just so I get a nice clean ridge. Well, you're just going to go all the way around, in and out, to get your ridge. Gonna leave my tail on the inside. When we sew in the milk, all that gets hidden, which is super nice. Remember, your bowl is so much taller than mine. Mine's just my silly little sample. We are now going to add the eyes, I need my backs, and our little smile, and our blush. If I can find my pink yarn, here it is. I need to cut a piece of pink. First thing we're gonna do, this is our back, because this is where we started folding over our ridge. So that's in the back. I'm gonna place in my eyes without putting on the backs. And then our smile. Put your black yarn on your tapestry needle. Starting from the back, you're going to poke in, pull, make a straight line, pull, and then underneath, poke through, and then scoop that straight line down. So it makes a little V. Cute. Our eyes aren't centered. Ah! That's why we didn't put on the backs. Now I can adjust my eyes where I like them. Oh my goodness, so cutie. I'm gonna add the blush before I put on the eyes, the eye backs, excuse me, because that's just my preference, but do whatever works for you. Poking through the back. I'm gonna do 2 little straight lines. I like to go through it twice. I think if you only do it once, it just doesn't really show up as nicely. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, nice and even, and poke it through on the back. So everything even. Yes. So now I could put on my backs. You just take this plastic piece called the washer, and click it on. Just make sure it goes down all the way. Again, perfect. You can tie your blush off, just don't pull too tight. Same with your smile, don't pull too tight. You'll ruin all of your hard work. And then you can trim it up just so it doesn't get in the way. You can also use that for stuffing later, our extra yarn scraps we can put inside. To sew on our milk piece. Remember, you have the rest of your cereal and your bowl's bigger, mine's not. I'm going to put my white from my milk on my tapestry needle. I'm going to place it inside. And I'm going to sew it along our white line on the outside. See, that was for a reason. So I'm going to go from milk to the bowl. Bowl to milk. And then back through the bowl. So again, through the bowl, through the milk, and then back down through the bowl. Through the bowl, through the milk, going through both, bowl, and then back down through the same spot on the bowl. You're going to do this till it's about 3/4 of the way around. And then we're going to add our stuffing and close it up. But go ahead and sew 3/4 of the way around to get your milk attached to your bowl. I'm about 3/4 of the way around. I have my stuffing. I want to pull apart in the small clumps and place it in. I liked my milk kind of overflowing so you can see the cereal pieces from the side, but it's up to you how you want to do it. Placing your small pieces in individually is going to give you the fullest look, the flattest bottom, and it uses the least amount of stuffing. So if you're just going to shove it in, it's not going to be as nice as taking the time and placing it individually. So I recommend doing that. Put a little bit more in right here. Cool. And I'm going to finish sewing it up. To make it a little easier for me, so I don't pick up my stuffing, I place my finger on the inside just so I know that I'm not going to pick up the stuffing when I go around. If you do, it's fine. You can pick it out later, kind of cut it out, but I think this makes it a little easier for me. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up, and then I'll show you how we hide our tails or weave in our ends and finish our little cereal bowl. All right, like 2 more. Okay, 1 more. And back down. Okay. To hide our tail, we don't just want to cut off our piece of yarn because all of our work will come undone. What we want to do is shove it back inside and then poke out anywhere that's white with a few inches. So we're placing our tail basically inside the bowl. Don't pull too tight because if you do this, your whole bowl is going to squish. Then you cut it, kind of rub in the end a little bit, and we have a cereal bowl. Cutie patootie, all of our little Fruit Loops, I guess. I've been calling it Lucky Charms, but it's totally Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops, a little smile. Here's my back, and that's our cereal. Thank you so much for joining me, Peanut, and Cashew as we made this little cereal bowl. I hope you love your little Fruit Loops right on top. It's super cute. If you like this pattern, if you can please give it a like and subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel so I can continue to make more crochet tutorials. If you want to stay up to date with everything happening, I'd follow us on TikTok. That's where I post my new crochet kits, patterns, collections, and everything in between. Again, my name is Kendall. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!